Freedom of expression is a fundamental human right, as stated in Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Access to information and media freedom feed into the wider development plan of empowering people. This year, the Media Carrier Network, with support from the U.S. Consulate, organized a month-long activity starting with a movie screening to a panel discussion and a luncheon in recognition of World Press Freedom.
The U.S. Consulate is supporting this. They wanted a month-long marking, and we should commend them for doing that, because sometimes when you just do it once, people don't pay attention. But I think having done 1 month long repeated emphasis about the need for press freedom, I think that message sticks. This year we're talking about journalism and digital safety. And I think increasingly we are seeing trends that we need to address, because many journalists are not as digital as they should be. Now they need to understand how digital works and know how to protect themselves. Before, they were so worried about security attacks from military, from government. Now we are talking about digital threats, as simple as somebody monitoring you online and also trying to make what you are doing to be wrong, calling your product fake. How do you respond? How do you protect yourself? How do you protect your website from being brought down by people you don't see? How do you ensure that people don't come and discredit what you are doing just because they support somebody or whatever?
Well, press freedom is important, and we thought instead of just doing a World Press Freedom Day, which we also did celebrate, we wanted to really have a month-long activities to celebrate press freedom, journalistic freedom, journalist protection as well. There's so many topics there, and so we had panel discussions. We previewed a film on Pulitzer and the Pulitzer Prize, very interesting. We're having a luncheon as well for journalists to celebrate their achievements. So it's really to celebrate journalism and to show how important it is as a centerpiece of U.S. foreign policy.
Media freedom is a right for journalists enshrined in the 1999 Constitution, and as the fourth estate of the realm, it's important to come together to analyze how far we've truly come. Is the press really free in Nigeria or not? What tips can we share with one another as to how to walk through the very difficult terrain that we work with in Nigeria? We also looked at numbers based on researches as to attacks on journalists, ability to have access to information both from government, from the internet, layering through the various propaganda that might be pushed through the media.
Marking the World Press Information Day this year, it's a good thing that we are having this, because it will boost our members' confidence. It will increase them in knowledge on what they need to know as we are in the digital age now. And in terms of their security too, we know that as a country, security is very key now. What our members need to know, how they can secure themselves in terms of, apps, tools, media tools they can use, and some precautionary measures they need to take. Even for those who are student journalists, I'm sure many of them have learned a lot today. They've gained a lot from those who are in the field.
As a student journalist, it's an eye-opener for me. It's a means of me getting to know more, meeting who is who in the industry, because somebody like me personally, I actually, from the onset, I actually don't have interest in journalism. I just joined Manscom to boost my writing stuff, but over time I've been able to, through conferences, seminars like this, so I've been able to improve, get that interest, build that passion towards journalism.
Information is critical. Freedom of information, which permits access to public information, are essential, but so are the means by which it is made available, be it through radio, television broadcast, social media, or the simple sharing of documents.
One thing you should learn in this profession is that when you talk to a source, whether they respond or not is news. They can't stop you from writing your news. What is important is that you contact relevant persons for confirmation or denial of whatever fact you have with you. So if they don't speak with you, no wahala. But you see, we also are grateful to online sources like UNESCO when it comes to a lot of things, United Nations, all their subsidiaries. You can glean a lot of data from it. But you see, there is also that human touch that you need beyond dealing with data online. You need somebody who is authoritative to talk on issues. But it's getting difficult, especially for government officials. Sometimes you are lucky, they want to talk unofficially, but even that has its own setback. Because if you have about 4 sources in your story, half of them don't want to be quoted. It puts a dent on your story.
As journalists, what we are taught and what we know is that rumor is a veritable source of information. Yes, rumor is, but once you have access to, it's also up to you to use your professional skill to turn it around and explore some other, windows to be able to determine what you could take out of the rumor that you have stumbled on. For those of us in the academia, we have to subscribe to reliable electronic libraries. And like I already spoke in the other time, some of these international organizations, we have found them reliable, UNESCO, World Bank, and so on and so forth. It's not at all times really that they are reliable. Cite an instance.
Facts-driven decision-making can significantly alter our political, social, and economic perspectives. Therefore, open and pluralistic media are perhaps most precious when they simply provide the mirror for society to see itself.
We must stay united in supporting media professionals who work hard to de-escalate violent conflicts and promote peaceful society without compromising the responsibility to report.
As journalists, be mindful of the fact that government officials don't like to give information. And the reason is that they engage in a lot of shady deals, unholy engagements, and they want to keep it safe, or they want to keep them safe. So they have skeletons in their cupboard. So when the reporter comes to ask about information, they are afraid that, this man is going to come and expose us. So they don't appreciate the value of giving the right information. But journalists must also be mindful of the fact that they have a duty to the society. Fortunately, Section 22 that you read tasks journalists to make government accountable for all their actions and to task government or government officials to implement the fundamental objectives of, the directives, principles of the Constitution.
Speaking with someone in politics, I won't mention the state of, and the person said, you journalists write to reform, we write to persuade. That's it.
But the question is, what is the role of journalism in politics?
Well, we are supposed to be neutral. We are supposed to be fair. We are supposed to be balanced. And so, whatever you do, ensure that you report all sides, not even two sides, all sides to a story. Give every aspirant, whether in a popular party or in a not popular party, a time to express their opinion so that people can decide. The decision is for the people, and we need to avail them of information. We think that as we even go to election, people should report the truth, expose the contestant, the aspirant, so that people can know what to choose from. And when the election is being conducted, report the process. Let people know what exactly happened. Report the true report. Don't just take any report and fly with it.
With all these events, discussions, and resources invested into publicizing media freedom, what changes should be expected?
Change is that, number one, we are re-emphasize the importance of ensuring digital safety, access to information, and freedom of expression. Because we need to keep reminding ourselves that it's our right. It's a guaranteed right. And except we do that, some people are falling off. Some people are scared about all these things I'm talking about, but with this, we expect that people will assert their right more and also be able to use digital for what it is meant for, to ensure that people have access to information, because information is life.
Well, this is really part of a continuum because we never stop. We have been doing capacity training for journalists for 60 years. We've been sending journalists to the United States for 60 years. We have reporting tours in the United States where Nigerian journalists are reporting on American elections and American stories, in addition to our exchange programs. And so later this summer, we're going to be doing capacity training for journalists who are covering elections and staying safe while covering elections.
As a journalist, dealing with the side effects of the gory details that come with human angle stories could affect one's mental health. How do you guard your emotions?
It's very tough detaching yourself from the news. And as a journalist, you know you shouldn't be a part of the story. But with so much happening every day, it's really just difficult. So what I personally do is to take some time to breathe afterwards. Because truth is, these stories get to us every day. But I mean, I take a little time off. Sometimes I delete my social media apps and just relax and just watch a movie before I get back into the work again. So it's what it is.
Freedom of information and the transparency it promotes has a direct consequence on fighting corruption, which in turn has a tangible impact on development. Information can change the way we see the world around us, our place in it, and how to adjust our lives in order to maximize the benefit available through our local resources. For High Impact Television, I'm Esther Kalu.